You judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. It will live its whole life believing it is stupid. Albert Einstein said this, and when we think of Einstein, we think of probably the smartest man that ever lived. Yet when you hear this quote, it makes absolutely no sense. Why would you ask a fish to climb a tree? It's absurd. Now, I want you to think about this quote and what it means, but I'm not here on this TEDx stage to talk about this one quote, so I'll start from the beginning. I'm here today to tell you about this amazing philosophy that can revolutionize the way we think, the way we look at the people around us, as well as how students are educated. This idea in philosophy is applicable to everyone's day-to-day life, and it should make you realize the value of yourself and others around you. This idea is called innate incredibility. Every human has a seed of capability to do something incredible. It also believes that with the right conditions, this seed of capability will no longer be a seed, but a plant of achievement. This idea is the idea that every single human being you will ever meet in your lifetime has this innate ability and capability for incredibility. Now, what is incredibility? Incredibility, it's a phenomenon, and words just don't do it justice, so I won't even bother. I'm kidding, obviously, that would be kind of an awkward stop, but incredibility can mean doing something correct or interesting. To be honest, I can't define innate incredibility. And what I mean by that is, I can't give it a general definition for all to follow. It's on an individual basis. It depends on what the individual is passionate about. It depends on what they find worthwhile. And thus, I can't give it a general definition. Now that you have a better idea on what innate incredibility is, the next logical question would be, if everyone has this innate incredibility, why isn't everyone changing the world or even doing things they're passionate about? And I believe that this is because not everyone has unlocked their innate incredibility. Whether it be lack of motivation, lack of guidance, or even just the depletion of resources to unlock it, there are many reasons why someone has not unlocked it yet. This actually segues into the next. Having education reformed. Having education changed to help unlock a child's innate credibility. Education, starting in about 6th grade, will separate kids into advanced courses and others into support classes. You're put into these support classes because you, in 6th grade, are branded basic. Basic. That's what our state standardized test calls basic. When you're dealing with middle school, who wants to be called basic by the state government? I mean, the actual state is labeling you and branding you as someone who they think doesn't deserve the same kind of education. Someone who is destined for less greatness just because they can't choose between C or D. Believe it or not, this is a small example of branding. Let's think big. Let's think on a national scale. Scratch that. Let's think on an international scale. Let's think about the SAT, a test that millions of students take each year to determine acceptance into college. College Board, the administrator of the test, says the test determines whether you are sufficient for college or not. Just to see what all this hype was about, I registered to take it at a local high school. Before I was given the test, I was also given advice. And someone told me that guessing was a good strategy, and that for most of the tests, I didn't need to know a thing but that good test-taking strategy. That simply astounded me. That simply guffawed me. As you can imagine, this single test determines so much in your life. What test score you get can determine what kind of college you get into. What kind of college you get into can determine what kind of education you get. What kind of education you get can determine what kind of job you get. What kind of job you get can determine how much money you make. And most importantly, people, how much money you make can determine whether you buy 1 scoop of ice cream or 5 scoops with toppings. People, this is a game changer. The SAT can determine whether you get 1 scoop of ice cream or 5 scoops with toppings. This test is a perfect example of what locks innate incredibility because it prevents kids from fulfilling their potential by telling them a brand that will represent themselves. Branding is not good. Highlight, underline, star, not good. One more time for emphasis, not good for children because it can affect their psychological state. Students can go their whole lives thinking they're insufficient. Insufficient for college and insufficient for life. If everyone has this premonition that everyone is a genius, then you stop branding kids. You're giving an equal opportunity to all. a statement that built the American way. So I kind of danced around the question, how do you unlock innate incredibility in students? Here are 3 ways to unlock incredibility. First, you need to give opportunity to people. Second, you need to guide people towards their passion. And finally, you need to share your wisdom. That's it. These are all things that anyone can do on a daily basis without even giving much thought. You. I see in the corner there, you, and really everyone in this whole library and this whole wide world can unlock innate incredibility. Specifically schools. What I'm asking is not impossible. I'm asking that schools do their jobs and educate students the way they need to be, the way they deserve to be. So, why me? I mean, I still order off the kids' menu, for gosh sakes. Why am I up here giving this? Well, for one, I've been blessed with the opportunity to be working with an organization called Teach for America. We're working on a program to develop a program called I Squared, Innate Incredibility, I Squared. Creative, right? Or maybe just me. But basically, what I Squared does is we pair low-income students with mentors, resources, and the guidance to unlock their innate incredibility. And I've also been given the opportunity to compete at the Scripps National Spelling Bee, where I met some of the brightest and the best the world has to offer. And to be honest with you guys, before they were amazing people doing amazing things, they were just ordinary people following their passion. And through my experiences, I've seen these seemingly ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. This is why innate incredibility is important. Because everyone can eventually unlock their innate incredibility. They just need to find their passion and develop on it. So, at the end of this talk, we're going to go home, we're going to leave this auditorium, and we're going to go on with our lives. I mean, what? After this talk, you should what? Follow me on Twitter? What's the point of this talk? Well, when you leave this auditorium and you go back to your lives, I want you to do one thing for me. Stop and open your eyes to the amazing. Open your eyes to the amazing people that can do amazing things, that can change this world. Open your eyes and you will see unlimited possibilities. Possibilities that we cannot even fathom. So, let's all help unlock other people's incredibility so that we may all unlock our own. Thank you.